So we just heard it's all about the base. And yet, we keep hearing in society, it's all about our purpose. Remember the movie City Slickers? Anyone see the movie City Slickers? Remember the infamous scene? Curly's there answering the question, you got to find that one thing. How many people here are still looking for that one thing? Hard to find that one thing. And then we get into this whole idea that there's a divine purpose. Did you ever hear that? Everyone's talking about what is your divine purpose. Let me bring it into perspective. There's not a father out there. There's not a Santa Claus God, a Thor God, a Zeus God, a human form God who knows your purpose. Let's really bring this into perspective. There are over 100 billion solar systems. Can you hear that? 100 billion solar systems. Now, in a solar system, there are what? Billions of stars. If there's billions of stars, there's what? Billions of planets, even more than that, trillions of planets. And then there's all these asteroids, and there's all these things that we don't know. And then you take Earth, one lonely, lonely little planet, and then we individually represent one of 7.5 billion people. So think about how small we are to all that is, and do you think something out there really cares about your purpose? Are you that egocentric? Think about that. Are you that egocentric? Or are you maybe the individualization of that which created all, and you have the freedom to be anything? So I'm going to share with you what your life purpose is. I'm going to make it real simple. It's going to be so simple you're going to say, my God, this man's brilliant. You may want to call me a guru. You say, Guru Ji Lee. No, that sounded pretty good. No, anyway. The secret or purpose to life is to live it. To live life fully, completely, and engaged. That's it. To live life. But wait a second. Aren't we living it now? The question is, are we living it consciously or are we living it unconsciously? How many people got up this morning and they have a routine? Everyone's got a routine, right? There's certain things we do when we got out of bed, and some people, they wash their face. Some people, the first thing they do, I got to brush my teeth, my mouth is going to smell. Some people, they got to go relieve themselves because they've gone all night. Some people, like me, have relieved themselves many times in the night, so it may not be the first thing you have to do. But we have these routines. Did we ever stop to consciously think what we were doing? Did we ever consciously think at the moment we woke up, were we conscious of that first breath? Were we conscious that there are 100 trillion cells in our body, and in the course of that evening, a whole bunch of them left and were replaced by new cells? Were we conscious of the fact that there was a heart with millions and millions of cells that made up this heart that is rhythmically pumping blood through our body, bringing nutrients? Were we conscious of our lungs purifying the air that we were breathing in, feeding our blood? Were we conscious that when we looked at our partner or our pet, whatever it was, were we conscious that they were aware? Probably not. You see, that's life. The miracle we are trying to find in our lives is the miracle of just being present to life itself. So I want to share with you, what if I gave you the coolest question? And the coolest question I want to give you is this: what 4 things could you do today, that would make you a better human being? What 4 things could you do today that could make you a better human being? I heard that question And I heard, the question when I heard it was 3 things. But when it came to my mind was 4. It was instantaneous. What were the 4 things that I felt could make my life better as a human being? First one, be aware. That's a big one. That's the biggest of all. Think about what we're trying to say when we say, be aware. We're trying to say, be aware that you are the individualization of the infinite. Be aware that everything in you is whole and perfect. Be aware that you are the creator of your experience. Be aware that the infinite power that creates that experience is your mind, and how you shift and move and groove with that mind determines the experience you have. Be aware that the universe that you see is the only place that universe is seen in the way it's being seen is through you. No one else is seeing the universe the way you see it. Only you see it that way. That's the whole thing. There are 7.5 billion people on this planet seeing the universe in their own unique and whole and perfect way, and yet we're trying to get everyone to see it the Democrat way or the Republican way or the way of the United States or the way of China or the way of the feminist or the way of the masculinist. We're trying to get everyone to see it differently, and what are we doing? We're taking away freedom, and we're taking away freedom, we're taking away divinity. Did you hear that? See, we are divine, and in that divine, we are free. Don't let anyone tell you ever what to think. Don't let anyone tell you you have to behave in a certain way. You are a choice because you are a creator. And when you are aware, you embody that. And when someone comes up to you and says, I want to change this about what you're doing. I'll use me as an example. I'm a minister, right? Got a spiritual community, building a spiritual community. Got a spiritual community here, got a spiritual community out into the ethers, because our community is 12 times the size of what you see here because of the internet, because of our YouTube, and because of our podcasts on iTunes and that type of thing. So we are tapping into over 2,000 people a week right now. And it's even more than that because I'm finding out, I'm going to tell you a cool story. I have a friend, Darren. And Darren lives up in Vancouver, Canada. And Darren and I talk every week. We met at a John D. Martini event, and we've remained friends. We talk once a week. And Darren is a corporate trainer. He travels around Canada and the United States putting on big corporate events. He goes over and does philanthropy in Africa. He's all over the world. And we were talking on Friday this week, and Darren said to me, he says, you know, Lee, I had this woman that I've known. I haven't seen her in 6 months, and we connected, we were together, and she was saying that my life has changed. And she started telling me about all the changes in her life. And I said, and he looked at her and he said, so what did you do? What caused you to change like this? He says, you don't know this, but you sent out a video. And you said, watch this video. And I watched that video, and for 6 months, I've been watching those videos, and my life has changed. And Darren said, what video? He says, it's that guy, Reverend Lee. He says, Reverend Lee Wallach? He said, yes. I have been watching his videos for 6 months, doing what he's been saying in it, and it's changed my life. I'm taking those same videos, and I'm forwarding them to my friends. Do you hear this thing? When we're coming from a place of connection, where we're coming from a place of awareness, it's spreading in ways we don't know. What that is why I'm saying that is because I must be aware that I must always be my authentic self. So as a minister, people are always telling me new ways to be me. Well, Lee, if you do this, the church will grow. Lee, if you do this, the church will grow. Lee, if you do that, the church will grow. Guess what? I'm only going to do what's divinely inspired within me. I'm not concerned with anyone's opinion. You hear that? I'm pretty cocky, aren't I? Guess what? I'm God in expression. I'm cocky. You should be cocky too. Do you hear that? It's not just me. I'm saying you should be cocky. So that when someone comes to you and says, change the essence of your energy, you look at them and kindly say, no. No, I'm not. This is who I am. See, that's being aware. Being aware is critical. Now, so that's number one. So what else can we do to be a better human being? be present. When you are with someone, when you are doing something, be fully engaged. When you're hugging someone at Agape, the new people here, I always can tell who the new people are because they look around and say, what is this crazy community and why are they all hugging? I know, it happens. And then people start coming for a while, then the next thing you know, they start hugging, and next thing you know, they start hugging, next thing you know, it becomes a way of life. It's not the only way, but I want to share something. When you hug, be present. Be fully aware that your energy field, and you have an energy field, that energy field extends beyond your body. Realize that you're going in and someone's allowing your energy and their energy to connect, to feel each other, to sense each other, to know each other. It's sacred. Hugging is a sacred thing. It's saying, I feel safe enough that I will open and let you be with my energy. That's a gift. That's a huge gift. And the key thing is that when you're hugging and you feel an energy that says, I'm not ready to hug, don't force a hug. If someone sticks out a hand, reach over and take the hand. It's okay. No judgment. You see, when we talk about agape, agape is about unconditional love. Unconditional love means there's never judgment. Everyone's doing what they're supposed to do the way they want to do it, and it's right for them. What your way is only right for you. You getting that? Okay. So being present means, just think about being present. Friday, I called up my former workout partner. I have a partner that we worked out for 10 years, 5 days a week. It was like my second wife for 10 years. And we've gone different directions. We're no longer working together it's been about 15 years now. We haven't worked out together. But we meet twice a year. But we meet at Houston's. I don't know if any of you have been to Houston's. It's on Beltline. It's sort of it's west of the tollway, or east of the tollway. But I'm going to share with you one thing. Their veggie burger is orgasmic. I'm just going to tell you, it is. And when I'm there, and Miriam and I, we're talkers, and we're going back and forth, and I say, stop. And I get that fork out, or I take the piece up, and I bite into it. And I'm present with the veggie burger. Every cell, every nutrient that was put into that veggie burger, I am tasting, I am lavishing, I am dripping it all over my face. I'm covering my body with ketchup. It feels so good. I am fully present with the veggie burger. But you see, it's not just the veggie burger. Think about, let's become aware now, okay? Think about the energy that went into that veggie burger. All of the plants that were grown, all of the sunshine, all of the rain, all of the nutrients that grew it. Then there was the harvesting of it, the processing of it, people putting it together in the right way, forming that veggie burger, cooking that veggie burger, putting the condiments on that veggie burger, and with all the love in their hearts, because I know the waitress, because she knows what I think about the veggie burger. It's presented in all of its grandeur. How many thousands of lives went into the producing of that burger? You see, being present and knowing and being aware, you're living life. You're living on purpose. Here's the next one. Being authentic. Not many people would get up on stage and talk about a veggie burger like it was a woman. Or for a woman, not like it was a man. But you see, this is me. I am Lee, and I am earthy, and I appreciate these things, and I am passionate, and I'm expressing it in my unique way. I promise you, I will always be Lee. I will tell you yes, and I will tell you no. But I will always be Lee. I'm not going to do anything to please anyone. Does that make sense? Because if I'm doing things outside of my values to please someone, what am I saying to the universe? I don't love Lee. Lee is not enough. Lee needs a change. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Lee's going to be Lee because if I'm not authentic, if I'm not consistent, if I'm not that person, would you be here? Think about that. If you felt that I was wishy-washy, going back and forth, that I wasn't consistent, that I wasn't walking my talk, that I wasn't walking the teachings that I'm teaching, not a person here would listen to me, ever. They would walk out, this place would be empty. People are looking for people who are authentic. So if you want more people in your lives, you want deeper relationships, be authentically who you are. It's what you are. It's good enough. It's more than good enough. It's everything. Authenticity, we overlook so much. I got to please my mama. I got to please my dad. I got to please the church. Well, don't have to worry about that here, do you? No one here you have to please other than yourself. I got to please the government. No, you don't. The government is here to serve you. You have a voice as to what that government does. The question I say to people, are you consciously using your voice to tell the government what it is you want in this country? Most people don't. They say, well, I've got this choice or this choice. No, you don't. You've got more choices than that. There are infinite opportunities, and we open ourselves up to the question, what can we do? When we say there's more than two choices, we'll get confounded with thousands of choices, ways that we can be of influence, ways that we can bring a different light to this world, where we can sit down in one voice, make this world a place that works for everyone. You see, in God, all things can work together for a common expression. And that common expression is what? It's life. It's just life. So we've gotten to the point where we've talked about being aware, being present, being authentic. Last one, being of service. You see, we have gifts. We have ways of being. Bonnie and Colleen over there, they're decorators. They love to decorate. They're good at decorating. We got musicians. They love to give music. We've got people here that are bankers. We got people here that are salespeople. We got people here that are project managers. We got people here that sell cars. We got people here that are administrators. We got people here that are housewives. It doesn't matter. There is a service that you are providing that, when given, being aware, being present, and being authentic, is a gift to the world, and it is all that's necessary. No one has a better way of being of service than anyone else. And keep this in mind. When we're being of service, when we're being aware, when we're being present, remember, we're always changing. So we can adapt. We can become different. For a while, I was a great vice president of marketing. Guess what? I changed. Now I'm being the greatest minister I can be. When I was a father, I tried to be the best father I could be, and I was the best father that I could be based on where I was at that time. And you see, when we're authentic, when we're present, when we're in service, we no longer judge. We become the living Christ. We become the living Christ. I'm going to end with this. Being the living Christ is what we seek to live more and more. Being the living Christ means to fully embody that this energy, this consciousness, this form is God in expression. Being the living Christ is realizing that everything out there is God in expression. Being the living Christ means to be in non-judgment, not judging them as right or wrong, but knowing within them is the power and the presence of the infinite that created all things. Being the living Christ means that I take full responsibility for my life, and it's through the patterns of my thought that I use. Now consciously, I am creating a life of love, of authenticity, of service, of being present and being aware. In that moment, I am Christ-like. In that moment, I am a Christian. In that moment, I'm a Buddhist. In that moment, I'm a Hindu. In that moment, I'm a Zoroastrian. Every religion is seeking that moment. And in that moment, I am one with God. That's the greatest gift of life itself. Become aware that you are the gift of God expressing. Become aware that you are perfect now. I want to thank you for joining us today. I am so grateful that you took your time to watch or listen to this message. If you found this message beneficial, I would ask you to go to our website. Once there, click on the Contribute button and experience the joy of conscious and purposeful giving. It is through your gifts that we are able to bring this message to the world. I would also ask you to please share this message with anyone you feel might benefit. Again, I want to thank you for joining me and the Agape community as together we bring joy to life.